This is the original Dom Kennedy, and right now I'm kicking it with my boy Joe Cornejo right here on the Yada Yada podcast. OPM till it's over. Westside get the money. We out.
But you yada yada over the best part.
What's up, y'all? It's the kid Joe Cornejo from High 103 Jams here on Zoom right now with a man that needs no introduction, but I gotta give him one because when you talking to a legend, you got to pay the respects, man. It's the Leimert Park legend, West Coast's own Dom Kennedy. What's good, Dom?
What up? What up, man? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. I've been waiting all day for this interview, man. I feel like it's been taking forever.
That's right. That's right. Let's get it going.
But thank you for taking time out your day to do this for me, man. It means a lot. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
Man, so first off, congratulations on everything, man. It's been an amazing 10-year run so far.
Yes, sir. No, I have, for sure. I've been grinding, for a minute. Solo artist a little over 10 years, and then with OPM 10 years plus, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And just all independent, trying to stay creative, trying to inspire people, and just make the flyest music possible. At the time, I could say that's always been my goal, for sure.
Yeah, you stayed true to your core the 10 years, man. Thank
you, man. Appreciate you. Thank you.
So before we kind of reflect on your journey, man, let's talk about the present. Rap and roll. Congratulations on some body of work.
Yes, thank you, man. Appreciate you, man. I work real hard on this, you know what I mean? I feel like it's definitely one of my most complete and cohesive projects. I was happy that I never put out an extended version of an album before. We just dropped that with a couple more songs on there. Just kind of like really sitting back this year and observing the game, and I saw how deluxe albums and everything was just so important, you know what I mean? And I make so much music, I never wanted to be like a thing where people don't think I share enough music, you know what I'm saying? And at this point in my career, I'm like, I just want to give people as much of me as possible, you know what I mean? So they know the real. So I was excited for sure to do this one.
Yeah, man. And like you said, it's the most cohesive work you've done yet. And I fully agree with that because I think, when you look at your last 10 years of work, I've been a fan of yours since 2010 and seeing you grow in your journey along the way. I think this is the perfect album to like cap off the last 10 years of your work.
Yeah, man. I agree. Thank you. I agree, man. From the production, just to the subject matter I was talking about, the couple people that I work with have been with me throughout the journey, you know what I mean? And then, like I said, just the music in general, you know what I mean? I feel like I found the right producers, the right production at this time to like sum up how I really feel, and as an artist, you just want to feel good about the art you're making,
Yeah. And this is your first solo album in a couple years, ain't it?
Yeah, probably since Volume 2 for sure, which was probably 2018 for sure.
So how long has Rap and Roll been in the making?
Man, since then, I would say really hardcore last 18 months.
Okay.
Last 18 months of my life, it's kind of taking shape from just the concept was something I always had. Me calling it rap and roll is like me stamping my own genre in music. You know what I'm saying? It's not specific to any one song. It's just to my overall sound, the feeling that I have when I try to create at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like if you actually, had to explain my music to somebody at this point, you know what I'm saying? That's what a rap and roll would come in at. You call it that, you know what I'm saying? And it will fit perfectly.
That's a great way to describe it because the way, I always look at you kind of like, like a lifestyle rapper. You just live what you know and rap about what you see on the daily. And that's your lifestyle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So what was your mind state going into Rap and Roll? Because when I hear this album, man, it sounds like you had that hunger and that drive again that you had 10 years ago. It almost you were rapping to prove something.
Yeah. I mean, being in anything 10 years is not no joke. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what you're doing. 10 years is a long time, putting in work, being dedicated, focused on something. I think my secret weapon is with this album and going forward, what my mindset was it's my first album. You know what I'm saying? I think that in the past, maybe I lean more on, okay, I did this, so people gonna know that, or I was a part of this, so people, will know that. It kind of is a continuation, and like one album goes into the next. With this album, I did it like, I don't care about nothing I did before. You know what I'm saying? I had to literally get into that space and be like, if you never heard my album, none of my music before, or if you're not a fan of nothing that I do, or if you got you know, it's so many other artists that people listen to. I'm like, I gotta get in that space. I wanted to be in that space of this is my first project, not like the person that did From the West Side with Love or the Yellow Album or got features or been on tour, you know, been around the world with the music. Like I want to put myself in that space of like this is my first and only body of work, you know what I'm saying, to date. And I had to, it was like a rediscovery period for me, you know, artistically, just to get in that mindset again. It wasn't hard to do once I acknowledged it, but I had to get in that space mentally and be like, you know what? I don't really care about nothing but just getting after this music, getting on these beats, you know what I'm saying? Being in tune with what I'm saying, like every line, all the music is purposeful, you know what I mean? I just had to get back into that space, you know, like nobody don't owe me anything. Not that I thought that before, but it's just like, I was just truly like, go for it, you know what I mean? Go for it.
The reintroduction to Dom Kennedy, it felt like.
Yeah, for sure. You could say that for sure.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, this album came at a perfect time because, you know, 10 years in the game as an artist, you know, OPM had its 10-year anniversary this year. And yeah. So how has the journey been thus far, you know, building OPM from the ground up where it is today?
Man, it's been a blessing. You know, a lot of trial and error, a lot of learning curve, you know what I'm saying, for us. A lot of things that, you know, hopefully I'll get to write a book about it one day. A lot of, you know, wild moments, you know what I'm saying, self-discovery. You know, this game didn't come with a blueprint. Nobody taught us like, oh, do this and it's gonna, you know, go through this door and that's gonna be it. You're gonna feel good about it. Like we was literally trying things that people never did or told us don't do the whole way. You know what I'm saying? Or they wouldn't do themselves the whole way. You know what I mean? So we had a lot of great days. We had some rough days, you know what I mean? But the fact that we still here and, you know, our best days is ahead of us for myself and the other artists and all the artists that we work with. It's a testament to the moves that we made. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. For sure. That's how I look at
it. The work y'all put in, like, all led up to this moment.
Yep, exactly.
And so, like, when you first came in, doing it independently, like you said, it wasn't as common. But now, when you look at it from 2020, everybody wants to be an independent artist. So, for artists that look to you and OPM as inspiration and the blueprint, what advice would you give them?
Man, do your research. Know what level of independence you want to be on. Like, it's different levels of independence. You know what I'm saying? You could start your own management label. You could have your own label in general. You could just be you. You could have other artists. You know, all my whole thing, I wanted to have other artists from the jump. You know, I wanted a joint venture. I wanted partnerships, things that people talk about now. I wanted that from the 12 years ago, 11 years ago. That was my mindset, you know, having other artists, being able to produce music for other artists, you know what I mean? Some of our artists have had deals, you know, with labels. It's not, I don't think it's a thing you should go into closed-minded, like, I only want to do this, or I'm only looking at it like this, you know? You should do your research and figure out exactly what you want to do, and then make adjustments after that. Don't compromise, but make adjustments, you know what I mean? Talk to people, share your thoughts, you know, see what works for you, see what people's doing well, what they not doing well, and then, you know, make the game yours.
So create without compromise.
Yeah, for sure. I think you got to. I think that's important. You know, it's a give and take world. Things not always gonna go our way. You're gonna have to work with some people maybe you never met before. Maybe you didn't, you know, you don't agree with on things, but taking that advice and listening to it, it will, you know, at least get you a lot further than just being closed-minded and just doing everything your way. You know, that's not gonna work either. I think sometimes being independent, not having an answer to a lot of people, maybe for some people it might get you in trouble a little bit. So it's like, I'm not saying that, you know, it's always important to collaborate, you know. I will say that. Yeah, get as many people that you respect around you, you know what I'm saying? Get as many people as you respect and that you want to work with around you.
Yeah. And the industry, you know, when you first started making noise in 2010, the industry has changed dramatically since then, especially for independent artists. Would you say it changed? As the changes were happening, it benefited you more as an independent artist, or it kind of put more obstacles in the way?
Nah, it's changed for the benefit of independent artists. You know, when I first started making music, and a lot of people, you know, it was like, I'll just say, like, downloading music, it wasn't no streams. You wasn't getting paid for streams. You wasn't getting paid for YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Show money was very, very, and sponsorship money was very low to slim because they wasn't keeping track of, okay, millions of kids is actually listening to this and caring about it. You know, it was no way to prove that. So nobody didn't really care. It was still all on the industry. And of course, the industry was falling apart. You know, I think that the fact that you can be independent and have your own lifestyle and make money and, you know, get checks in the mail and make your own power decisions, that wasn't possible 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? It's different. They make it more difficult to attain now, obviously, as the money increases. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna figure out ways to, you know, make the numbers go into their favor. But at the same time, you got to give credit because, again, if you're an artist, you want to see some. If you spending money, if you spending time, you want to see some return for yourself and the people that you work with, you know. And 10 years ago, we was doing a lot of projects. West Side with Love, Yellow Album, even that was for free. Like, we had to get out of the way in hopes that people would just listen and respect the vision. Now people could do those same things and actually get on the charts. You know what I'm saying? Get on the, you know, sell music immediately, be on top of the iTunes. You know what I'm saying? That weekend. That wasn't possible. Oh, no, I was just saying that the fact that they could, you know, the monetary value of the whole game is there more, you know what I'm saying? And before, we had to make a lot of projects, a lot of artists, especially in the past 10 years, they made projects and they made bodies of work, right? But they had to give them away for free to even be heard. Now you have the chance to make great music and actually be on the iTunes charts, you know what I'm saying? And compete with major artists and major labels, and, you know, and that's a blessing, you know what I'm saying? Because as an artist, you just want your music to be heard and have that fair shot at doing your thing.
Yes, because, like, you know, in a way, you kind of did come up in the streaming era, but back then it was just a blog era. So, like, you wasn't getting from it, but you was getting, like, notoriety.
Exactly. We was dropping videos, you know, now people get monetized off their videos. So many more videos, you know, all of that budget, all of that we was spending money on, and everything we was doing it just for the love of the game, simply. You know, we wasn't really getting anything out of that. We was just doing that strictly to inspire, in hopes, like I said, that maybe when we showed up to somebody's town, they might have heard our tape, you know what I'm saying, for free and been playing it, you know. Now you had the time to collect on your investment in your art right away, you know. And I think that that's a good thing for everybody. I think that's a good thing for everybody. Because the fact of the matter is, artists are spending money. They spending their time. They working on their craft. You know, everything helps to keep it going, to make the best art possible. Everything helps.
So would you say this, like, that is the biggest difference between being independent in 2010 and being independent in 2020?
Yeah, for sure. Hell yeah, for sure. Just having that option alone, you know what I mean? Again, it's so big for somebody that maybe spent a year and a half, let's just say 6 months making a project, money, time, you know, even to just be able to recoup a percentage of that in your first week or your first month is big, as opposed to not, you know, getting anything, but just like, oh, that's a dope song. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, I heard that. You know what I mean? Like, exactly. For artists, that's cool, and you want that, but also to keep going, to be profitable, you know what I mean? To continue creating great art, you need to make something back for your product, you know, for your vision.
Return on investment.
Yep, absolutely.
So, you know, 10 years in the game, man, you know, I feel like you officially OG status on the West. And on Last Supper of Rap and Roll, you had a line that said, "You can't bring up LA and don't mention me." And I really like that, because, like, when I look at what the West Coast is now and how prosperous and thriving it is as, like, a music scene, I can't help but give you some of that credit, because, you know, you came up in a time where the West had some problems internally that was hurting the music scene out there. So guys like you, Nipsey, Casey, Veggies, and TDE, y'all came up independently. Y'all built your own movements, but most importantly, y'all helped each other in the process.
Yeah, for sure. Now, we was definitely products of that. I mean, it was just a beautiful time. Like, first of all, you got to recognize and see, like, true talent, you know, in those days, and who really wanted it. Because, again, it wasn't no budgets. It wasn't nobody getting you dressed or writing your raps or putting songs together for you. You know what I'm saying? And it was like your desire, your hunger, the person that you wanted to be inside, the artist that you wanted to be, you had to bring that person to the forefront, you know, to even be recognized. So I think that the people that you named right there, as well as others, was definitely responsible for a golden time in music in general, you know what I'm saying? But definitely from an LA perspective, I think that's why, for sure, at least in our hometowns, that we highly celebrated, you know, just for stepping up and doing that and creating a way where it was no way.
Yeah, and did you guys realize at the time, like, how special you guys were as a unit and what you guys were doing?
I think so. I think even now, but I think so back then for sure, because it was a new time, you know what I'm saying? And like you saw and like you kind of touched on, we all worked together for a reason. You know what I'm saying? I remember that vividly, you know, like nobody kind of like was in a position to like separate themselves, or you know, if it was quality and your man needed an idea, or for instance me coming up with a dope song where I'm like, I know people gonna like this, I'm gonna throw the homie on there, you know, like who is Casey Veggies, who's Kendrick Lamar, you know, I had tapes with Schoolboy Q on there, Nipsey Hussle, all of that, because it's like I'm gonna go to somebody I respect and I'm inspired by doing it and coming up, before I'm gonna just go throw somebody who on there who's, you know, who on 106 in Park or whatever, you know, is going on at the time. Yeah, it's a real big disconnect, you know, and when you're trying to build and trying to get somewhere, it's very important to work and find people that's closest to like-minded like you as possible, you know what I'm saying? And I see the artists even now doing that, and that's what's up, and that's what you're supposed to, you know, because that's what we did and we still continue to do, man. It's important to have, we always say OPM, you know, still sharp and still, man, and it's important to have great artists that you respect and that you like, you know, doing great things at the same time, so y'all could build off each other, you know, and work together for sure.
Build the infrastructure together.
Yep.
And so, like you said, like when you look at the West Coast now, you know, 10 years later as an OG, you see it's prospering and thriving, and like everyone's, you know, paying it forward by helping the next person up. It's like, you know, when you sit back and reflect to see that this hard work, you know, was built on your foundation that y'all helped lay in 2010. How's it feel to know you helped bring back the West to like its prosperous state?
Man, it felt great, because that's really what we did it for. You know what I'm saying? That was one of my personal goals with even doing music. You know, I always wanted to be an owner, be an executive, you know, make power decisions, all of that. But in the back of my mind as an artist, you know, my whole motivation for getting started was I want to see LA get some love. Like I want to hear LA on some dope records. You know what I'm saying? I want to feel like LA is respected in the music game, period. You know, and when I started putting my first project out, which would have been 25th Hour mixtape, you know, Watermelon Sunday, things like that. Like that was my full goal. It wasn't nothing else. It wasn't even to get rich, to do none of that. It was to just show us, talk about LA, put on for LA, make it feel as real as possible. You know what I'm saying? As I'm creating this art, as I'm living this art, just make it as real as possible, you know? And I'm thankful that I did that, because over the years, as so many people have, you know, pay respects, all the shows we did worldwide, countrywide, colleges, venues, arenas, small joints, you know, people have always kind of gave me my respect, and magazine interviews even, and said like, you know, when they think of LA, when they think of, you know, here in Leimert Park now, LA, South Central, all of that, you know, they think of Dom Kennedy, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I did it for, you know. That was one of my top 3 goals in this rap shit, was to put on for LA, you know. That was probably number 1 most important thing to me.
A lot of West Coast rappers, especially from like LA and Cali, they have that pride, that LA, that Cali pride that they really put on for.
Yeah.
And then so you think that love just from where they come from, where y'all come from, like helps kill all the egos and all the jealousy amongst one another when you have like a bigger picture goal in mind?
Yeah, to a certain extent. You know, everybody does their thing kind of different. Some people just LA, but they, you know, rep their side, or they don't, you know, I don't know. But for me, yeah, because it was always like the bigger picture was always to see LA doing fly shit. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't really even about one individual. It wasn't even about myself. it was just about LA doing fly shit, looking good. If I could contribute to that, if I just had to do a hook, I'm fine with that. You know what I'm saying? If I just had a suggestion, I'm fine with that. If it's my whole song, I'm fine with that. You know, if it's the homie song, if it's the homie concert and I got it and I'm just going to do a verse, I'm fine with that. You know what I'm saying? Because LA looking good. At the end of the day, it's a win, you know?
Yeah, I feel that. And you and Casey Veggies on your new project got a song together called Life, where you kind of like celebrating so far in the hard work. And I think it's such a dope record for y'all because, you know, you not only did you guys come up together, but you took him under your wing at an early age because, you know, he was a young group at the time. He was like 17, 18 years old. And so what was it about Casey Veggies early on that made you want to like kind of look out for him and mentor him?
Man, his wordplay, his passion for it, you know what I'm saying? Like, I always wrote rhymes growing up, but I wasn't, like, consider myself a rapper, you know? So at that early stage, 17, 18, I had nice verses, but Casey was just, like, really gifted, man. Continues to be with just finding this passion for the wordplay and patterns, you know what I'm saying? He was always special. I would relate it to being, like, if we played basketball and it was like we all was great at hooping, but you know, you just seen that young kid that was crazy with the dribbles and just real creative, you know what I'm saying, with always getting to the hole, you know, and figuring it out, even when he was playing with older dudes, you know what I'm saying? And to me, that's Casey Veggies, you know what I mean? Like a lot of young dudes, they not in the right, you know, they skill level ain't high enough and their creativity ain't as locked in as sometimes as you would like it to be. But Casey, like, he always was able to like come around with whoever and still stand out. You know what I'm saying? I think people kind of recognize that even when bro, like you said, like 15, 16, rapping, 19, you know, we always did songs and bro would always find a creative way to approach a beat. You know what I mean? Approach the rap game, approach music. And that shit just always kept his name hot. And me just seeing that early on, it was like, I gotta work with bro. You know what I mean? It was never no question. It was always like you said, like, nah, he gonna be around. Everybody that I feel like is special and gonna be around it, I make it a point to like, I gotta embrace them. I gotta work with them. You know, if they need me, of course, if it's something we could collab on organically. But Casey just always had that passion for the wordplay, man, that I respected. You know, that's what it really come down to. Like his passion is way beyond his years, you know?
Yeah, and y'all have a really good track record so far, man. We're gonna get a project with y'all together soon or something.
We just did another one for he dropping a project, I think in the next couple months and shit. I just did a hard one for him. So, you know, be on the lookout for that new Casey Veggies. I'll definitely be on there. So
hey, Organic was one of my favorite albums that dropped like a year or two ago. So I'm pretty hyped with that.
Yeah.
But so we've been talking about your impact so far. Let's talk about your influence. So I'm not sure if you're too familiar with Kansas City, but you know, we really embrace the West Coast culture out here. You know, we celebrate the West and its culture like it's ours. So that's why artists themselves get a lot of love and respect out here. And so it's been cool to see your fan base grow over the years out here. But the thing is that now your sound is starting to influence the city.
Right.
So now we got artists in Kansas City, like an artist named Kyle Colors, a young cat like Veggies, that, you know, when you hear his music, you hear Dom Kennedy in it.
Word. Dope. I have to check it out, man. Look into it.
So, like, when you hear things like that, did you ever think when you first started doing music that your sound and your influence would reach out past Cali and influence the next generation?
Honestly, nah, man, I can't say that part. You know what I'm saying? I guess I could say I hoped it would, and I hope people would embrace it and understand where I was coming from. But nah, it ain't no guarantees. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have any musical ties to like Kansas City or the Midwest or, you know, none of these other places. I just tried to tell my story, you know what I'm saying? And hopefully it will, you know, something in the details, I guess, will connect, you know what I mean, with the real ones. With real ones, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's what eventually happened, you know, and now coming to age, you know, like on the deluxe version, I got a record with Don Tolliver, you know what I'm saying? People always hitting me about Meg Stallion, always showing me love, you know, and it's like now years later, as some of these new superstar artists is coming up, and then you getting to see, kind of touching on what you was touching on, that they was influenced, and we were some of the people that they was listening to coming up as they was formulating their styles. And I think it's a great thing, man, because truthfully, I was inspired by the generation before me doing their thing, you know, and that's what kept me being able to even be able to write a verse, you know what I'm saying? Just being in tune with rap music and all of that. So I understand how it goes. And man, I love the new creative artists out there right now. You know what I mean? Doing their thing. It's so many of them, and like I try to listen to and learn as much as possible from them. You know what I mean? So I look forward to more as I continue, you know, making music over this next year and a half. Just open the game up even more and tie those worlds together. I see you got the Dr. Dre album, you know, right?
Yeah, I got Kendrick.
Yeah, so that's kind of, you know, what my goal is now is like, I want to do it like how Dre would do it, but in my position even more, and just bring all the artists, all the dope, creative, like-minded artists even more together to make something even more special.
Yeah, hell yeah. I like that, man. So, Archie tell me we got to wrap it up, but, you know, before we go, I just wanted to, you know, ask you a couple more things. You know, 10-year anniversary of OPM. And, you know, this has been an honor to be able to talk to you about your journey thus far. So, you know, if the universe allows it and we make some things happen, hopefully, you know, the next 10 years we could talk about the 20th anniversary. But until then, what's your goals for the next 10 years of OPM and Dom Kennedy?
Man, establish more artists, establish a doper sound, you know what I'm saying, with producers, get more producers involved, get more artists involved, you know, create on a higher level, man, inspire more people, you know what I mean, and just get a people more great music across the board. Like literally this last week, I realized I recorded about 4 or 5 more songs that I really love as I'm putting out the deluxe album. And I'm like, man, something just in me just not stopping. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just like a desire to just get better, man, and get more pure with the music and give people something even more solid, man, something to live with, you know, because I know the music is just, it's really relatable at this point. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just in love with just trying to find the most pure version of myself on record as I can, you know, so that I could share that with the people. So I look forward to myself and all my artists being able to do that. We got J305 next single dropping too. I think on Friday actually. So you're gonna see not only we got more videos, you're gonna see not only a lot more music from myself, but just from the artists, and the maturation of OPM is just gonna be tremendous. Like I'm trying to take it to like a Motown Death Row Bad Boy hybrid. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's OPM. Like if you could put all of them three and mix it up,
yeah,
I feel like OPM is right there. Like you'll see our logo in the middle of the bowl. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
that's what it's gonna come down to, man. So I'm just thankful for the work that we put in, the trial and error, the lessons we learned up into this point, man. I just look forward to executing, you know, and doing my part.
Yeah, same. Like I said, hopefully the universe will bring us back together 10 years from now. We'll have this conversation at the 20th anniversary.
Man, hopefully sooner than that, man. I will get to shake hands and shit and chop it up more, you know?
Yeah, man. And, you know, why I got you here real quick, you pointed out the Dre, I got Kendrick, I got Boogie on the wall. When can I get some Dom Kennedy on the wall, man? What I got to do to get some Dom?
Man, we only had that Yellow album vinyl, but we going to work on something for you. I'm going to work on my next couple plays, man. We need some more vinyl. You right. Those is vinyls?
What's up?
Those are vinyls?
Yep, all of them on the wall, man. They all special albums, so I got to get a Dom album, man.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm
dope, man. But yeah, man, real quick before we wrap this up, man, I just wanted to take the time out to just say, like, thank you for all the motivation and inspiration you brought into the world the last 10 years for, like, me personally, because, you know, you and Currency were, like, the two artists that were crucial during my formative years. Like, y'all music and who y'all are as people, like, showed me that you could be you and succeed at what you love as long as you're willing to work hard for it, and things will always work out for you in the end. And, you know, I did all that. I kept my head down. I focused. I worked hard. And now I'm here in front of you to say thank you, man. It meant a lot to me, man. So
appreciate you, man. Keep going. You know, that's what it's about. Like, you live in proof. You know what I mean? We live in proof, man. It's all good.
Yeah, hard work, man. Other people's money, it pays off, don't it?
Absolutely. You know it.
All right,
Till it's
man.
over, man. That's the motto for a reason. Till it's over. I hope people start understanding a lot of these quotes, and a lot of this shit is for life, man. It's for life. You know what I'm saying? So as we continue to get better, I just want to see everybody get better with us. You know what I'm saying? As we continue to, achieve our dreams, I just want everybody to get in that same mindset, man. Get what they want out of life,
Yes, sir, man. You're doing a good job so far, man. So thank you once again.
Appreciate you.
But you had it over the best part.